The best Thursday night football game we've had so far this season came against with 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers against 40-year-old Joe Flacco. Everyone has to tip their cap to these guys. I mean, I could go down. I could just go down the box right here. Aaron Rodgers, 23 of 34, 49 yards, 3 touchdowns. I'm sorry, 4 touchdowns, and then the 2 interceptions. On the other side, Joe Flacco, 31 of 47 passes, 342 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, QBR of 75.2, and a rating of 108.6. And then Jamar Chase, my God, setting a record, 16 catches, 161 yards, and a touchdown. Was absolutely unstoppable. T. Higgins chipped in as well with 6 catches, 96 yards, and a touchdown of his own. What did this game tell me? Pittsburgh definitely left the door open in the AFC North. They had a chance to possibly run away with it, even though I didn't believe that they really would when the season is all said and done. I think a team, maybe the Ravens, maybe the Cincinnati Bengals, would end up catching the Pittsburgh Steelers because there were just too many things that I was concerned about regarding the Steelers. And it showed very much, last night. Jalen Ramsey got burnt all night by Jamar Chase. Now, in fairness, Jalen Ramsey is still an all-time great cornerback. Jamar Chase is already an all-time great wide receiver. He's going to do that to a lot of people. Doesn't matter what you do. There is nothing that you can really do with Jamar Chase to really contain him. You can hope to contain him, and that could be more so with what the quarterback does with the football. But Jamar Chase is almost impossible to really deal with. He's going to make a lot of people look bad. He's been doing that since his rookie year. So I don't really put a whole bunch of that on Ramsey. I put it more so on just the scheme that I saw from the Pittsburgh Steelers. First of all, the most shocking thing for me was that the pass rush could not get to Flacco like I thought it would. The Cincinnati Bengals offensive line played very, very well. Being able to keep Highsmith, Watt, Cam Hayward from really putting an imprint in this game and flat out wrecking the game. Now they got their sacks. They're too good not to get pressure on the quarterback eventually and get a couple of sacks here and there. But by and large, I thought the Cincinnati offensive line played a very, very excellent football game in terms of keeping Flacco upright. They had the Cincinnati Bengals have their all white jerseys on. Flacco's barely had any dirt on it, if any at all. And then, but the problem is the Pittsburgh Steelers defense still has the same issues that they had all season long. I mean, the New York Jets, who are 0-6 right now, put up 30 points on them. So you see that. There's a lot of gaping holes in there. The running game of Cincinnati, which was virtually a no-show for like most of the season, also got going. We talk about Chase Brown, 11 carries, 108 yards, right. Just and Samaje Perine, 7 carries, 31 yards on his own. Joe Flacco, the play of the game, in my opinion, just an RPO for Joe Flacco for 16 yards. Watching that was amazing. But if you're a Steeler fan and watching this defense, you're like, how the hell does this possibly happen? So. And then the thing is, Flacco really could go wherever he wanted with the football. The Steelers' pass defense really did not challenge Flacco, I feel like, in my opinion. It looked at times pretty easy. Now, it's nice to have T. Higgins, Yoshi Vash, and Jamar Chase to throw the football to. I think that's a big deal for any quarterback, no matter who you are. But there just didn't seem to be a lot of classic Steeler resistance on the defensive side of the ball. And it hasn't been that way for most of their games, even the ones that they've won. Yeah, you dominated Cleveland, but that's not saying a whole lot. We saw what happened against Seattle. We saw what happened against the Jets. The Patriots honestly should have beat the Steelers as well, but they had 3 red zone turnovers. I mean, turnovers that were literally in the end zone that could have easily been 21 points right there. So, those questions are going to get a little more noise now, especially after this surprising loss. And I don't think anybody really had Pittsburgh losing to Cincinnati, even though on Thursday night, weird things happen, which you think will usually happen, and ends up being the opposite. On the Cincinnati side, what does this mean for them? Joe Flacco has kept the door open, has kept Cincinnati alive, at least for the time being, in the AFC North. This is a team that started out 2-0 before Joe Burrow went down. Jake Browning went in, and they lost 4 straight games. The sky was falling. Joe Flacco, of all people, comes in and they rights the ship. So Cincinnati's alive. They have concerns of their own, as really every team in the AFC North has their own concerns. Cincinnati's defense is still very porous. It took 2 tremendous plays from their corners and their safeties to get a couple of interceptions on Aaron Rodgers. The first one was on Aaron Rodgers. He just flat out sailed it, and the corner ended up getting it. The second one, I believe Jordan Battle was his name. The guy made just an unbelievable play to take the ball away from DK Metcalf. You don't see a lot of players taking anything away from DK Metcalf. I don't know if you've seen this guy play. I don't know if you've seen this guy's stature, but that's not a guy you take a football away from too often. So very impressive play by him to get that second interception. Cincy's defense had to make plays in order to give themselves a chance to win. So while we're amazed that 40-year-old Joe Flacco is still looking like he still got it, looking at Aaron Rodgers looking like he still got it, you have to wonder about these teams going forward and how the problems that persist, especially on the defensive side of the ball for both teams, how that's going to affect them. I show a little concern for Pittsburgh because I wonder their next 3 games, they could possibly end up going on a 4-game losing streak. Because I look at the next 3 games. The next 3, you have the Packers at home. You got the Colts at home, who many people are saying is the best team in the NFL, behind Daniel Jones of all people. And then you have at the Chargers in LA. Those are 3 games that are not easy to win. So you wonder if Pittsburgh's defense can't start getting stops against these 3 pretty good offenses, is Aaron Rodgers going to be able to consistently put up points against all 3 of these teams? Aaron Rodgers has played pretty damn good. He's not the issue with Pittsburgh. I have no qualms with even Aaron Rodgers. He's looked like the old Aaron Rodgers from Green Bay, scrambling around down to the last play when he threw that Hail Mary. And Flacco, you see how Flacco on the sideline, he was like, because he's seen this for so long. This game overall took me back to like 2012, 2013, which is awesome. But that last play with Aaron Rodgers, going for the Hail Mary, it looked just like the old Aaron Rodgers, rolling left, give a couple of seconds, pumping, and then just launching downfield. It looked like I had a chance. So, best game so far on Thursday Night Football. These 2 teams have a lot to look forward to. The AFC North is wide open. Well, I won't say it's wide open. I'll say the AFC door is open. It's cracked. Like, there's an opportunity still for the likes of the Baltimore Ravens and also the Cincinnati Bengals to possibly creep back in the race and make it a lot more interesting as we get into November and December.